Welcome back, guys. Today I'm gonna put some heat to this header pipe to see if we can get this loose, because it's just seized in there. So I'm gonna grab my heat gun. Hopefully I don't need a torch for this because I don't think I have any fuel, but we're gonna go ahead and heat this up real good and see if I can get this to budge. We'll heat it up around the base, and this is the exhaust for the 500 Shadow, I believe. I'm gonna have to verify that when I put it up for sale, but it has a nice guards on it, which are usually missing. It's in pretty good shape, so hopefully this works so I can get it free. All right, I stuck a 2x4 in here, and I just put my foot on the base here, and I got this sucker to start to move. So now it's free, and hopefully I can wiggle it out from here. Guys, if you ever took apart exhausts that were seized, you know how difficult this is. So this is a rejoicing time. I'm gonna keep working on this and pop it out so we can list it. All right, I kind of pulled up as I was turning, and she actually came free pretty easily. So she's in good shape. Clean her up a little bit with some steel wool, and sell this guy as is, and now I can list the collector also as is. All right, the exhaust is listed on eBay. So now we're coming back to the engine. Get a good picture of the side cover here and the stator, and then we can list that. I think while we're at it, we'll pull off the valve covers, the engine covers here, and they take a 6 hex. And basically 1 bolt, 2 bolts, and that should pretty much be free, I believe. Ooh, it's not in there. You're gonna strip these out if they're not in good shape. There we go. Whoop. One actually just shifted already. Oh, come on, get off there. Oh, that wants to stay in there, so gotta get that one out yet, and get these pictures. This has the same size bolts over here. If we want to go ahead and take the Super Magna off, yeah, I don't have it on there. So we could start dismantling that. We already have it open, so what's it really matter? This is also the parts that you're going to take off if you're doing a valve adjustment. So pretty easy there. Let's see, there's a gasket under here. All right, you see, that's free now. This might get in the way. I might have to take that off. Nope, that actually will lift right off of there. And there are your valves. Ooh, it looks nice and clean under there. We might have to put this inside now as we continue to take all this apart. So yeah, if you get in there, you can see where your valves are. And let's see, maybe the 500 wasn't, but I thought these were hydraulically adjusted valves. I could be wrong. It looks like you could turn these if you like, and maybe that's something you would have to do on the 500, but obviously this one's already moved free too. But yeah, this is how you would be adjusting your valves if you had to get into your engine. There we go, that's on that one now, and then that's going to look about like this. There's your timing chain. Your valves are right there, valve springs, valve guides. And this stuff will all start falling apart if you start removing bolts. And yeah, it looks real clean, real nice in there, except for this piece of dirt. I'm gonna continue. All right, if you lean this thing over, this will be easy, but most of you have never seen the bottom of your engine like this. This thing's all greasy because everything's been draining out. I'm gonna spin off the oil filter. I don't know, did all these Honda Shadow 500s come with a spin-off cartridge style oil filter? Easy enough. Now we can change the oil. A lot of times you're looking down here, you're looking for an oil pan, and it looks like these cases split in half. So you probably don't have a standard oil pan that drops off like the Kawasaki Ninja EX500 did. There's probably your drain plug for oil. There's another plug down there. So this is where you'd change your oil in the first place, off the left side of the engine, right by this filter. So there's our filter. Oh, there's the number. It's a Fram oil filter PH6010A. PH6010A. So good to know. That's trash, obviously, but good to know what that would be if you have a 1983, probably through 86 Honda Shadow 500. So I did that so I can get these things out of here, and then I think we can probably just pop off. This should be the water pump in behind here. So grab these little, are they 10 or 8s? They look like 8 millimeters. So that'll lift that whole thing off, and then I think we could probably get all this off. I would like to clean this. It'd be nice to clean it all at once. Now I want to move this closer to the hose so I can clean up the bottom. And we got a 12 here to take off the clutch cable. So we're going to loosen it out of this clamp, and then we can not be dragging the clutch cable all around. Actually do this side so that we can loosen it up and move it out of this clamp here. Completely take it off. And then I think we'll take off this choke cable. Nope, this is the RPMs. This is the, the tachometer. And then I think we'll pull out the 8 millimeters there and get the starter out of it. So we can list the starter. 12 millimeter nuts loose, and now we can pull this through here, and it popped out, loosened out of this mount here. That's how you activate your clutch. And then this can slide right through here, and our clutch parts are free. Let's see, it still has choke on it. That doesn't look great. Choke and clutch, so this would have been on the left side handlebar. Okay, where do we put that? We gotta put it somewhere we don't lose it. Right there. All right, so that's free. Get a screwdriver and free this up. That'll probably lift right out. When you're going for your tachometer gauge line, see how there's this ridge in there? That is held in there by this screw. So completely remove the screw. You can do this with the engine still intact, and then that turns that guy, and then it just turns the mechanism in here. See, there's a slot in there, and that's a hard cable. It goes right up through to now let me show you. See if we can, there you go. That goes in the back of your tachometer, and then that turns that. Shows you how fast you're going. Well, shows you how fast the engine's spinning, sorry. It's not the speedo, that's down the front wheel. Going to get your starter out, kind of got to move this coolant line here. So this one holds down the bracket for the coolant line. So that's an 8 millimeter, and then you got to get in back here for that guy. So we already have the bracket free on this side, and that's just being held in by an O-ring now. So what happens here is we're gonna take over this crossover hose. You gotta loosen that up first. So that can either go left or right. It doesn't really matter to me. There we go. So that's free. You can push this one off too, since we're gonna take the water pump off anyway. So just get it back off that hose, and then you can wiggle that off. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Like I said, it's gonna come out of here and out of there pretty quick, pretty easy. But you gotta get that out of the way so you can get your other 8 millimeter off down there. So I'm just gonna get something big that I can pry this off here. Make it easy for me. Like like I said, actually at this point, this is all hard line down here. This would come out here, just like on the other side. So I'm not sure how this is being held in. Probably not. Okay, yeah, that's not being held in. That's got this hose down here, so we can technically move that off of there too, if we want to. Oh, I wanted to clean this up. That's why I was gonna move it, so I could clean everything and make it shiny again. It's been well oiled, so we know it's not rusty. Need something better than these needle nose, but it does the job. Get yourself some hose clamp pliers. You could do that. Watch out, these guys fall out. If you don't want to lose them, be careful moving this thing around. All right, now I'm gonna get that out of the way, and we'll get to our starter. Be careful, there's a lot of dirt in here, so if you pull that starter out without worrying about this dirt, it's gonna fall right in your engine. And if it's not open like this, you're gonna have trouble. All right, got my coolant lines out. I got the two 8mm screws out. They look to be the same. And this was the one being held in right there. So there's our coolant line. There's the little gasket, O-ring, that keeps your coolant inside the bike. So if that goes bad, that's all you need to replace. You just pull it out and push it back in. And that one fit over here, went into the cylinder right there. And then I think I pulled out this side too, right here. Yep, that goes in right there. There's your gasket. So, you know, there's a kind of cruddy stuff coming around because I did clean it, but it didn't really clean up that great. And then, yeah, that's all free. That's where that hose was. So there's the hose, crossover hose. And then since we got this guy free, you're gonna have, it grounds to the engine, and then you're gonna have a positive lead here. And that goes to what, the starter solenoid? I think that goes through here to the starter solenoid, through that to the battery. So now all you gotta do is kind of pull it out of the bike. So kind of grab it, wiggle it a little bit, or here you can push from this side. I think kind of wiped it down so it actually looks pretty okay right now. But once I lift up a little bit and pull it to the passenger side of the bike, eventually the seal in here is going to let it go. Yeah, I could push it from here if I wanted to. Can get in here a little bit, kind of just wedge it. It's not in there that hard. I just don't have two hands to do it. So I should be able to get it in between there real carefully somehow. Even if I had a hammer, I could tap it a little bit that way. So I'm gonna pop this free. It really isn't that hard because you can see it moves. It's loose right now. So all I gotta do is just push it to the left. No, that'd be to the right from this angle. So it's really not that hard. I keep saying that, but it's easier to do if you don't have a camera in your hands. All right, I'm gonna get this out of here and show you what the starter is, and then we'll test it, clean it up, make sure it's good. All right, you could actually see, if you looked in here, the starter gear on this side, and then there's a seal, and it goes through the housing, and then you can get it free. And remember I told you, watch out, those gears can fall out. This is the starter gear coming off the starter, and then that connects to the engine itself by this shaft. That's where they sit on. And then all we gotta do, geez, I should have taken this out before I started filming again, but I wanted you to see that. There we go. Now, got it lifted up there, and now we just have to wiggle it out, but these guys, these studs for this exhaust are in the way. That might be trickier than I thought. Well, if I can lift it up, I can pull it out this side, and this positive wire is in the way too. All right, she's coming. I'll show you when we're out. Now, because this stud is in the way, I could not get it starter past here. I even took the power cable off, and I was able to wiggle it out of the hole and then angle it up and pull it out this side. So our starter is out. As I told you, it was pretty dirty on the bottom, and got all that junk down there in the bottom. So that's what we got. Starter is free. So we're gonna go put some power to it, see if it works. She's spinning. She works perfectly. Sounds great. So we're gonna sell this together. Let's go after our water pump and the housing here. Let's see, you got an 8mm here, 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 and here, and she's free. I don't know how much more we're gonna do today. I wiped her down a little bit. So now if we lift this out, it's still connected to, I think these are all the same. Nope, there's a shorter one. There's a long one. Get that oxidation. All right, so there's our bolts. Maybe we'll sell it with all these pipes at the same time. There we go. That's free, connected to this that goes to the radiator. And then here with the other line going up towards the cylinder heads. The inside, and then the water pump's right there. Now I wonder, does that just screw out of there? Lift out of there, I mean? Nope, there's more work to be done for that. There's another 8 that we could loosen up. That would be a, I don't know, thermostat sensor of some point. Some point? I don't know. There's our engine code down underneath there. So yeah, you can see, still got some good coolant in there after all that we've been through here. And then, yeah, there's our engine code right above the oil drain plug. That's where our filter came off of. And yeah, I'll loosen that up and get that sensor out. Let's see what that might be. I don't know. Oil pressure sensor. Get on there, buddy. There we go. That's out. And it looks like that actually is wired in with this guy, which needs a screwdriver, I think, once we get under there. It's just a Phillips screwdriver to pull that off. There she is. I think that's the oil sensor, oil pressure sensor, which makes this, no clue. Makes it something. I think we're done for the day because the water pump, you just wedge in there and she will lift right out of there. So there's our water pump. There's some antifreeze. And now we have a hole in the side of the engine. Guys, I will see you on the next one. Hopefully you've enjoyed tearing down this engine with me. We'll get to the nitty-gritty and the rest of it later. Have a great day. Get out and ride. Or fix your bike.